Hey everybody, this is Grace. Back in 2016, I made some list about behaviors of narcissistic, toxic people, whatever way they are. Their behaviors, their characteristics, traits, attitudes, what they might say or do or not, and along this line. And it still holds true to today. You know, it's not like anything with them often changes. Not that I've seen over the years, and I'm 57. So I thought it would be interesting. I found it in a binder I had, not a binder, but a composition book. And I was looking through them this morning, and I thought that I'm going to do a video on these. You know, back then I made lists like 7 things they might say, or 9 characteristics, or something like that. And I made, I think, most of them, I think I made PowerPoint slides on. So this one, I'm just going to speak. I'm going to start with one of them I put like 7 things they say. Okay. And I'm serious. These, you know, I still hear people say this. Now, number 1 was something like, they will say, no offense, but, and then what follows it is going to be something very offensive. Now, this can happen when it's not somebody who's narcissistic or toxic or whatever, no way abusive, you know, like somebody who's correcting you. But I've found that these people that, you know, you see the behaviors repeating, and it's just part of their character that you've, you know, come to know, they'll do that in a situation where they know that other people are watching or listening or reading, so they try to make it nice, but it's never nice. Okay, never. Okay, and number 2, it's for your own good. You know, when whatever it is that they're doing or saying or had said, you know, it's for your own good. Well, who are they? Who are they to judge what is for your own good? And there's, like I said, in any of these, you can find situations where, yeah, you know, that person, whatever. But with them, they're going to say that. Yeah. And it's not for your own good, it's for their own good, quite often. Or they're just trying to be rude, mean, you know, whatever, take something out on you. Okay? Now, like they do something, say, number 3, they do or say something that was really offensive, or they shouldn't have done it. They think it's funny, you know, especially like if they do something that hurts you. And they say, well, it was just a joke. There was nothing about it being a joke. They just like hurting people. Now, it's rather abusive. And number 4 was when they say something like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they're putting it on you if what they say you find offensive or you find bad or whatever. They're putting it on you from the get-go. They're going to play these victim right off the bat. They're letting you know. They can say anything just because they said, don't get me wrong now, but, you know, that but is always there, quite often there. Now number 5, I knew a woman who would do this, and someone would say, well, this isn't kind of abusive, but, you know, anyway, she would say, I'm going to make a long story short. And she would never make a long story short. And within that story, there would be something that is offensive to you. Okay. No, I'm not, when I say you, I don't mean you. This is just out of talk. Okay. Another one is something happens that they could have helped out with. Okay, they could have, or you're like it's kind of like they're throwing water on a drowning person, or you're looking for, well, something that happened to you and you're really not looking for anything but sympathy, you know, or empathy is often what happens. But what they say is number 6, they'll say, life isn't fair. Okay. You know, life isn't fair. It just happens. I grew up hearing that. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. Yeah. Another one is, and the 7th one I had written was, it's only logical, or only common sense. Common sense is often, that I have seen, something they will try to use when no, it's not that common. That's just in your head, their heads. That's not common sense. That's not logical. Just something bizarre. And they say, well, or they'll say, everybody knows that. It's just common sense. It's just logical. And it can be just total opposite. Okay, that was part of it. That was one of them. Okay, on another one, I wrote 7 traits, but I actually wrote out 10 different things, and not really traits. Just not all of them. I haven't read through them, but anyway. Or maybe more of attitudes, behaviors, something like that. Then the first one was, they don't clue you in on things. Okay. Now, I've noticed this more in people who have histrionic behaviors. But in my life, they have a blend of narcissistic, histrionic type behaviors that I've seen most. But they don't clue you in on things. And then sometimes they'll say, well, I told you that, and they never did. But they will keep you, like, you need to know something. You need to know that somebody called and said this, or you need to know at a job, you need to know that that person was doing that. But they won't tell you. They in some ways they're doing that. Sometimes it's just that they're not even thinking that you deserve to know anything. And sometimes they're doing it on purpose to cause you problems, to bring about problems for you. Okay, and I wrote another one was, use your words against you. Yeah, yeah. That kind of stands alone, doesn't it? Okay, and then they have the attitude of, it's my way or the highway. Well, I think many people have heard that. I would think many people, maybe they haven't. They have to have it, has to be their way. Like you're in a relationship, marriage, and if it doesn't, one of them doesn't have to be male, doesn't have to be female. One of them is going to be very, everything has to be set to their way, or they will throw a huge temper tantrum. Each one that you might become so tired, you just give in, because they're going to insist that it's their way. Or they can be so abusive, they said, if you don't do what I say, you're leaving, you're going back to your parents, you're going back to whatever. Maybe go from there. Okay, let's see. I'd already did the one about only logical. Let's see. They'll bring up the past and wrongs or arguments. Like, nobody's perfect. We do make mistakes. And they will hold on to that one mistake you may have made the whole time you were with them. Or, in a family from your childhood, an embarrassing moment, something. They will bring that up when it's beneficial to them. Like, you may have done something 40 years ago. And they'll say, well, you remember the time when you did this? They just did something wrong. And they'll say, well, you weren't perfect. You did this. You did that. They try to get it deflected off of them, back onto you, where they're still sitting there feeling okay, whatever they did, because you're not perfect either. Let's see. Another one is, your fun is no fun. Okay, and they say that to ruin your fun. Like you have something you really enjoy doing. Let's say crafts, or something crafty. And they'll come and say, why are you doing that? That's not good. That's too time consuming to me. Time consuming. What are you going to do with all those? It's going to be something very negative. And it just, or maybe you like reading books. You like reading romance novels. Well, why do you read romance novels? Those are not good. Those put bad ideas in your head. Something. They're going to ruin your fun. Okay. Now this is a good one. I've experienced this one. I've experienced all of these. When you're the cause of everything that goes wrong, and that can include the economy or the weather or anything, somehow, some way, they're going to say it's your fault, even though logically it's not. But what they're doing is they're trying to cause an argument. Sometimes it's other than that. But they love that argument. And they're taking all their anger and frustration whatever's built up inside of them and throwing it on you by causing that argument. And you're the fault. You're the cause. And it's totally illogical, like I've been saying. Logic doesn't play a role at all. Sometimes. Not at all, really. Okay, they're broken records. Another one. Broken records. Like people like me who's done videos on this for years, repeat stuff because like some, like me, some of this is stuff I see happening over and over again because they are broken records. They skip, they go back. Some of them. Now, all of this is not one size fits all. Some of them do, some of them don't, this kind of thing. And I don't know why I wrote this one down. Move down different roads. Well, yeah, that's what some people call this word salad. The word salad that I was taught, it was that the word salad, okay, one sentence would not make any sense at all. It might be, I remember always using the duck as an example. Duck, yesterday, foam, something like that. Doesn't sentence make any sense at all. And I have seen it in people with dementia, some kind of cognitive dysfunction, some kind of traumatic. I've seen it in someone with traumatic brain injury, and so on. Okay. Now, some people use it as word salads because they also take off on these different tangents. They go down different roads. They go around, circle, back and forth, up and down, just so they don't have to directly answer anything. It's like spin master sometimes too. Okay, let's see. So I do know why I wrote that. Another one is they never or seldom. I wrote never or seldom commit to anything. Commitment phobic is what we used to call it. Commitment phobia. But anything. It can be, we need to go to the grocery store. You want to go? No, not right now. Okay, well, how about at 2? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's always or often like that. It's seldom yes, no, this time, and stick to it. You can go on from there with that. Okay, I certainly could, because I have seen them, especially if they have some histrionic behaviors. Like, you have a time and they're going to go with you, like, I don't know, you go into a doctor or whatever, and they said that you have to have somebody with you. Whatever it is, they're going with you. They're going to put it off till the last moment, really, the last second. They might make you late or, get real close to making you late for it. Okay, because they don't want to commit to anything, but also it goes on. If they have to, whatever's in them, they want to make it bad for you, whatever it is. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I had made more. Okay, they don't believe in professionals. I got a bunch of them now, more. They don't believe in professionals. No professional knows better than what they know. They are better. They know better than the professional. I've done plenty of videos about that. Even like, so you went to that doctor and the doctor said something was, not good. They were there. They heard, maybe they were in the room and they heard what the doctor said. When they leave from there, they said, doctor really didn't know what he was talking about or she was talking about. That was a bunch of bull. Really, all you need to do is this. Yeah. Okay, another one was they talk over you. Do I need to elaborate on that one? Yeah. Yeah, they don't want to hear your words. They might even put their hands to their ears and go, nah, 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 nah. I don't want to hear you, I don't want to hear you, whatever. But sometimes you might want to do that because they will just keep going. Keep going, Some of us don't act like children. Sometimes we do. Okay. Lies about anything. I've known some people to do that. It doesn't matter. They just want to lie. They're going to lie. Plain and simple. They find it fun. They think it's, later on they will actually admit to that they thought it was fun to see if you would fall for their lines of bullshit. Pardon me. I don't like people cussing, and there it was. But you see what I'm saying? They will just lie. You know, they get a kick out. They want to see if you're a gullible person too. So then they can calculate in their mind how much they can use you. You know, by how you listen to them and you take what they say as truth. The thing about it is they'll come up with some elaborate kind of crap, and why would you assume, especially if it's something, it doesn't have to be anybody new. It can be somebody you were born and raised with. You know, they do that. Why would you think they would come up with some bunch of twisted BS? You don't think like that yourself. You don't think it's fun to do that to somebody, or it's, to keep doing it, to keep seeing, are they going to really trust me? Are they really going to listen to me? You see? Okay. Another one is that they throw temper tantrums. I mean, really, like a child, sometimes like a little baby. Not a good child. Not all children do that. But they will throw a temper tantrum. I call them also fits of rage. And some people call them narcissistic rage. But to me, temper tantrums, fits of rage, yeah, that's what I've seen. And I wrote threats. That's the same thing of the my way or the highway. If you don't do it my way, I'm going to do this to you, or you're going to have to do this. I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to whatever it is. Yeah. Okay, move on. Like I said, I did these back in 2016. Prejudices, and then they're childlike in it. I wrote. I don't think I need to elaborate on that one. Another one was the excuses for never doing housework. They will all, this type I have seen would always, or quite often, come up with a really good reason why they can't do it. Oh, they have something at the office they have to concentrate on. Oh, they must do this. They must do that. Anything to not have to do any of the housework. And it puts it off on you. They're too busy. They have to think about other things. They're the ones who take care of, and it winds up being nothing much of anything. But they will find excuses for never doing anything. It's all up to you. It winds up, before you know it, you're doing pretty much everything. Let's see. Hoard money. I'm turning pages here. They hoard money. You might not even know it. They will take any penny they can and they put it up in the bank, and they may have a totally separate bank account that you don't know of, and they're slipping 10, 15, 20,000, whatever, however much money, depending on what they're earning, they're putting it in there and you don't know about it. Okay. And then they don't want to spend any money on things that that are necessities, like clothing, food. They will sit there, like if you go out to a restaurant or something to eat. Well, we're spending too much money here at the restaurant. We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do that. And they make it miserable. What little you finally got to go out to eat somewhere, and they're going to sit there and make it miserable, so that way they think that you won't ever want to go again, because they're sitting there complaining about how much money you're spending. I mean, it could be a McDonald's, a real inexpensive dollar menu kind of thing, that they're going to sit there and do that because they don't want you to get used to it. Or you buy yourself something new and they're going to complain about it. And then I wrote projection. Oh my goodness, that seems to be a favorite, especially these days. I have noticed this more and more these days, online. Given what's going on in the world today, I've seen quite a bit of it online. And they're doing exactly what they're saying other people do. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm moving on from there. I could make a whole video on that. Okay, you're always wrong. Yep, that's what I used to call them the type that was. I used to call them the actually people. Like you say something and they'll say, "Well, actually, it," or they'll just say, "Well, no, I think." And no matter what you say, they will find at the end of it, they will say, well, actually. But I've seen, when I started thinking about it, I saw a commercial, and I knew I had already heard this expression. And the truth of the matter was, I don't think I have ever known any woman to do this, any female. It was males. And at some point I said, you know what, this is mansplaining. Some of it is mansplaining. Okay, I'm sure many of us have heard that, mansplaining. Well, no. Moving on. Okay, they have to be center of attention. I've seen that with mainly people with a histrionic boy, then they can go crazy to get that attention. They go wild. They're already a little bit wild, or a whole lot wild. Let's see. Highly competitive against others. Oh yes, and with some of them, there is not a thing that isn't up for them to make a competition about. The whole thing of actually, the mansplaining for one, but it doesn't have to be men in this. What could be examples? I've seen women do, makeup. I used to do makeup videos. I have allergies. Wearing makeup is very difficult for me. Yeah, especially lipstick, and I have such beautiful lipstick. But anyway, they will compete with one another. They have a new, palette, eyeshadow palette, and they want to make a competition on it. Anything is a competition, competitive. People in your life, they'll try to go behind the scenes, do the smear campaign on you, so that your new friend will be their friend instead. Okay, let's see. Another one is they don't pick up on social cues. Now anybody can fall into that one, and but I think that people who have, some people, not all, none of this is all, but some people who have dealt with people like them for, say, years, or maybe not even years, and maybe not at all, but they will pick up on them better. Okay, anyway. And let's see. Another one I wrote was workaholic. I remember reading something years ago about workaholics, and it was basically that they were workaholics because they don't really get what they're doing. They're kind of, fake. And so it takes them a lot longer to complete certain tasks, so they have to become workaholics, or act like they are, so that they they work a lot so that they can look impressive, when really they're not. They're just not good at their job. Anyway, move on. They will isolate you. I think many of us have heard that, how they will slowly and systematically isolate you from other people. All your friends, or they don't treat you right, they're doing this wrong. Your parents, your family, all your family, your siblings, your cousins, everybody, your co-workers. One by one, they'll find ways to tell you, well, they're just not doing you right. I'm looking out for you. I'm thinking about you. You're not seeing what they're doing. I'm an outsider. I can see better inside what's going on. Somehow, some way, they'll twist your mind, and they'll make it sound like real good arguments, against why you shouldn't be around them. Your parents, they treat you like a child. They still infantilize you. What are they doing? You get the gist. And another one, they exhaust you. Okay, really. Besides just not doing anything, and it's all up to you, but they'll exhaust your mind, because they'll always have something that just, not always, I keep saying always, they will often have some, so much going on that they're saying and doing, and keeping you, maybe even do the thing of keeping you up at night, and they might even try to flatter you to keep you up at night, so you become exhausted, or they'll just be rude, hateful, mean, start an argument, especially on things like the next day you're starting a new job, or the next day you have something really big you have to do that you're already nervous about. They will just exhaust you. Okay, take everything they can from you. Okay, I have a lot more, but I'm thinking I'm going to do more videos because I have almost a full binder of them. Yeah. It's on the college world, not binder, but composition book. Anyway, okay, here's a separate one. I did 7 of these. 1, charismatic. A lot of people I have still run across to this day think that that they are drawn in. There's so much more information about narcissistic type people, and I remember hearing this about narcissistic people when I was in high school. Like I said, I'm 57, and they're talking about how charismatic they are, and my teacher was warning all of us. It was a female. I don't even remember which teacher, but yeah. Told all of us about this, about charisma and all. And, but to this day, with all the information we have, so many people are drawn into somebody, especially if their appearance, if they're good looking, let's just call it good looking, male or female, whatever, good looking. That's not perfect, that's not beautiful, that's not, truly handsome. It's just good looking. It doesn't have to be to the extreme. And, they're drawn into them. And I read some research, and I cannot remember where recently, about that they're really actually not good looking, but they just have mastered the like women, the wearing the makeup, sometimes men wearing makeup, they've mastered that skill to make themselves look good looking, but without it they're not. But with it, people are drawn to them. Okay. And it's something like, people who are more popular. How do they get popular? I've done videos about that. Some of them, not all of them. One size doesn't fit all, like I said before. And it can be also that they're not very charismatic and they're still narcissistic. People have divided up in so many different ways, so many different terms for the narcissistic people, or they just flat out say narcissist. It's not what's in the DSM, but yeah, they divide them up and all that. Like charismatic, some are, some aren't. Here's one, pillars of community. That I've actually read scholarly research journal articles, and that you can see that in those when they're, and I've seen them myself. The pillars of the community. They're or they are the type to just say that they're to pretend to be something like very religious. And they are totally not. Okay. Anyway, move on. Elitist, highest on the totem pole. I remember when I was younger, people described some people as, people that basically would do something like this, in a way that they had a caviar appetite but baloney money. I always found that so cute when I was young. People would say that. You just have a caviar appetite and baloney money. But they would act like they're really way up there when they're really not. But some of them do, some of them are. Like I said, some of them hoard money. And that's all that their interest is money. Like some people say, well, the narcissists I know, they don't work. And, I don't know if they're diagnosed, but, or we shouldn't be diagnosing them. Or, some of them say, some of them live in nice homes, but they live like, they're poor because they hoard money. Money is so important to some of them. Just the most important thing to some of them. Nobody, no person, no anything. It's the money. Okay, now I already mentioned good looking. Let's see. Financial success, some of them. High sense of entitlement. Oh my goodness, that one. What I found over the years of making videos is people are not as interested in that high sense of entitlement as they are in other aspects of it. But that high sense of entitlement should really be paid attention to. Seriously. Yeah. And I do wonder why it seems to not be of an interest to people, this of the high sense of entitlement. Is it the word entitlement? When I first heard it, I was like, Yeah. But all of us feel like it's something that, I would say that most of us, there go all. Well, actually all. I would say pretty much all, with some exceptions, that we have a sense of entitlement and not even realize it. like, we all have some narcissism, not even aware of it. But things like, you expect like your utilities to work when needed. I live in Texas, just FYI. We just went to the historic, they call it the historic Texas winter storms. Yeah, pretty bad. And a lot of people lost a lot of things, like electricity, when it was below zero. Yeah, some people froze to death in their own homes. Okay, then we have, some would say it's a feeling of entitlement that we expect people, a lot of different types of people, to be doing their jobs and to be thinking about how to keep us with electricity, water, gas, whatever is needed. And we feel that because of, especially like taxes you pay and stuff like this, or whatever it is that whatever kind of tax or whatever, however you pay to thinking that you should have those. Okay, seriously, when you need them. And some would say that's entitlement. No. Anyway, moving on. Has flying monkeys or groupies? Yeah. Now, I did a video years ago that was about when it's actually the victim, the target, the survivor, has groupies, has flying monkeys, people that are going to protect them. That's the difference. Or is it? To one side, it might be that they're flying monkeys, they're groupies and such, that they're deserved. And they're the ones who are victimizing the other ones. And then the flip side. Okay? Flip it. But what's the end result? What is the result they're looking for? Why are they doing it? All that. But yeah, quite often because of their charisma, they do draw people in who are going to try to protect them at all lengths. Do anything to protect them. Yeah, and it can get pretty bad. Anyway, like I said, I have a whole bunch more. I have them about things like highly sensitive people, people that some call themselves empaths. I'm not too fond of how when I first started making them, I thought it was interesting, but I'm not too fond about how it's twisted, how it's changed over time, and the ways people use that term, both of them. So, anyway, and then I have some like what makes you angry, hobbies, entertainment, online predators, and copycats. Boy, I've done enough on those. Siblings, what they do or don't do at home, women issues, men issues in here somewhere. Socially clueless, bosses, sadistic people, things they won't do, gaslighting, education, definitions, infantilization. Oh my goodness, so many different things in this. What they do with somebody else's man or woman, family crises, histrionics, why they do things, on and on. I got a whole bunch. I still have other notes since then, really, other notes since then that I want to go through. Yeah, if I get time, if nothing, once again, some major. This year has been really rough for me. I mean, I know it's been rough for a lot of people, but I almost lost somebody, as in to death. Yeah, this year. And that on top of everything else. Whew, yesterday, 2 days ago, it crashed down on me big time. Whew, exhaustion came in, and I still felt it yesterday. And I've been a caregiver for a while. It's another one. It could be. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully I can just stay on track with something and no new drama. Man, living a life filled with too many things. Like I said, I know that a lot of people have actually lost people. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up, and hopefully it'll let me upload it. Yeah, I need to clear some stuff off my phone. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.